In this video, we're going to discuss how our drive to Mazatlan went, how it was driving through Sonora, Mexico, what the border was like, and generally what we think of Mazatlan. We were able to get on the road by about 5:30. We really wanted to make sure we made it to Navajoa before sunset. We crossed the border with little to no traffic and really had no problems at all until we ran into this guy.
Again, right?
Tú tienes que pagar otra vez, pero voltea tu teléfono.
Okay.
Sí.
See, so we've already paid. So you're saying we have to pay again?
Bueno, sí, tienes que pagar, pero no pongas tu teléfono.
Okay.
So whenever you travel to Mexico, you're supposed to get what's called an FMM. It's similar to a tourist visa, although not the exact same thing. We filled ours out online so that we'd have no problems when we came to the border. When we showed up at kilometer 21 in Nogales to hand over all of our forms, the guy said that we had to pay, that it was not valid. I've read online that this can be an issue where they're trying to extort money from you, so I told the guy I was not paying and I pulled out my phone and recorded him. You got to see his reaction. He wasn't very happy. Either way, we ended up getting the car and going back up to the border because I know there's another office there that we can get everything taken care of. Now in my world, this was just a simple drive back up to the border. Didn't realize that it was the opposite side of the city. In order to drive up, we had to go through the heart of the city. There may or may not have been a one-way street or two that we went the wrong way down on accident. Nevertheless, once we finally got there, we had no problems, exchanged all the paperwork. We had to go back down to kilometer 21 to get the registration for our vehicle. Thankfully, that was in a separate building and we had no issues at all with that. Driving through Sonora, you can run into a few interesting things. Thankfully for our drive, we just ran into scenic things such as this giant 30-foot Yaqui statue, I believe is what it's called. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. There were tolls that were taken over by the locals, but that was all normal. We'd seen that before, and to be honest, it's actually cheaper than paying for the tolls. Navajo is a small town. It's a little bit beyond halfway to Mazatlan for us. It's a really good stop, and we found a bar last time we drove that we really like. It's actually on the roof of the hotel we stay in. It's beautiful. They've got TVs. The whole wall retracts, and this time we even had a mariachi band come through. So no thanks to my new friend, the next day we were able to arrive in Mazatlan with no issues. We were able to have a celebratory beer with the painting my daughter gave us, and Danny found a couch where he quickly got comfortable. After that much time in the car, we figured we should go on a nice walk down the Malecon and maybe find a nice beachside restaurant. We remember one from last time we were here.
Pretend like you like it here.
Thankfully, our Airbnb is within walking distance to the Malecon. This is our walk back. We decided to go out that night and see if we can find the Suns game.
Say hi, Daniel.
Aloha.
Next morning, we got some well-needed rest, got up and went to Isla de las Piedras, or Stone Island. It's a neat little island. You take a small panga to get there, small boat to get across, small little walk, and then you're in the middle of this beautiful, beautiful beach. We had a ton of fun. We even got Danny to go in the water for a little bit. It was really a great day. Enjoyed some nachos, some cocktails. That night, we decided to go out to El Centro, Plaza Machado, one of my favorite places in Mazatlan. We had some great sangria, some squid that was amazing, some shrimp. Sam even had some seafood, although Danny wouldn't touch it. And there was some great live music. The next day was sadly our last day in Mazatlan. We knew we had to get pictures in front of the Mazatlan sign. There's actually two signs in town. We did the one by the park. We also wandered around, saw some interesting recycle bins, and just enjoyed the city. Little live music at our favorite sports bar Simba's, watched another Suns win, and then one more nice ride down the Malecon before we had to call it a day.
What'd you think of Mazatlan, Daniel?
It's fun.
Fun? Somewhere you'd come back to?
Yeah.
How about your mom hiding behind you?
I love Mazatlan.
She's had a few. Anyway, Cafe Ramundo. You can see, here's our street here. Most dangerous thing about Mazatlan that we found are the sidewalks. Huge steps. A little bit of a grade. This is our street here. Hello. Nice dance. So we're pretty happy. We had our first few nights in one of the cities we really like. We had a good time here.
Yeah.
And I think we're pretty happy that our son actually likes this place.
Yeah,
So-
and the Suns won.
Make sure to tune into our next video, which is us going from Mazatlan down to Guadalajara. We ran into a few little issues on some windy roads, but all in all, it was a great trip, and we'll make sure to give you our first impressions of Guadalajara. Hasta luego.